everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is RACHELRAE, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today. This is a Wipnchat, and I'm going to just jump right in. So this is actually a pen that was sent to me, and isn't it just beautiful? I absolutely love it. What I'm going to do today, if you're interested, I'll have a link down below. Today I'm going to actually bend this pen tip because I find that it's a little uncomfortable to use. So I'm going to use a lighter and gently warm up the plastic there. Using my tweezers, I'm just going to pull to see if it's pliable yet and keep repeating that process. Now, you might want to be careful because the end of the plastic will turn black if you're not careful. You'll see that here in just a second, but it's actually not going to damage it in any other way. It just discolors it a little bit. You can purchase these already made and already bent. You don't have to do it this way, but I find that just that little bit of angle is going to make it so much easier to place diamonds. All right, let me get back to the actual meat and potatoes. So while I put this all away, I'm working on Diamond Art Club's Galaxy diamond painting. This is a square drill, and I'm actually trying to pull up the details here so that you can see. I'm going to show you how I cut this square as well. While I'm getting ready, I just jumped into all the things. I get a lot of questions on how to cut sections. I run washi tape along the painting just to visualize what a section looks like to me. That's what I can accomplish in a sitting, and usually that's about an hour or so, as this Wipnchat will show you. I do have the speed up at 1.1 times speed, so it's a little bit faster than normal, but so barely more of a difference that, yeah. I can't speak today because I've only had a few sips of coffee. You'll have to forgive me, but you get me. So I pull that back and I use a cover minder to hold back that sheet. I'm going to test out this Galman A3 light pad today, and I'm going to slip it underneath the diamond painting, and using this thing that a subscriber showed me. It's a magnetic connection, which is amazing. It's life-saving. I use it all the time now for all my devices. You just pop the end into the light pad, which I cannot show you on the screen. Apparently, I was having a little bit of trouble. And then, that way, if you have to get up suddenly, or if you have to, if a kid is in your room, or if you have animals, and if they pull the cord, it's not going to go flying. This light pad is super bright on its brightest setting. I think you can see that. I'm going to be doing a little adjusting, so please don't look at the screen if you get queasy. But I was trying to get the right brightness and everything, but it's really bright. I think that it's a really good investment. Oh, there's something underneath the canvas. There's something sticky under there. Okay. It was not actually on the canvas. But this is a really, really bright light pad. Now, they sent me that for review, and I do have a link down below for that too. I have a link for everything. They're all in the description box if you're interested. These are customized drill trays as well, and just really cool stuff. There are so many people out there right now who are making fun, different little, accessories, and I have a whole playlist of accessories for diamond painting if you're interested, because it's hard for me to even keep track of where I got everything, and everybody kind of has their favorites and stuff, but I don't want to choose favorites. I want you to decide for yourself, because everybody's a little bit different, everybody kind of they find what they like. And for me right now, I'm just really enjoying all the things that I've been sent and all the things that I've purchased, but I can't pick just one. They're all fantastic. So in the meantime, I'm doing this recording after I have diamond painted, because like I said, you may not know this actually. If you're just joining me, My name is Rachel, and I am an American, but I normally live full-time in Ireland. And for the last few months, I've been over here in the States and taking care of my grandparents. And unfortunately, my grandfather passed away, so we've had to kind of go through all of that new territory together. It's been an experience and a half, I'll tell you that. But I'm trying to keep it kind of light and upbeat these days because I and a lot of my subscribers suffer from anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and I'm trying to make a nice, fun place to come and hang out and do your crafting. So please join me while we talk about things that aren't about what happened in the last few months. First, I'm going in with this multi-placer, and I am doing what's called a checkerboard method. That's where you offset your drills by one row or column, and then you go back in and you fill in those blank spaces after you've completed the checkerboard. I find this method to be the best way to fill a large area very quickly, and for obvious reasons, but it is probably my favorite way to diamond paint. I don't like to use really large multi-placers. I find them a little cumbersome, and you can sometimes see I don't know how to explain it. Like the drills can be a little wonky. That's a good word. The drills can be a little wonky if you use bigger ones. So before the 4-placer came out, I used a 3-placer, and now that we have this new technology for us, I use the 4-placer, and I'm doing her skin color. Unfortunately, I did run out of diamonds for her skin. I think I might have mixed up a color, so I'm going to go ahead and buy some from Diamond Drills USA to fill in the rest of her skin. There isn't much. I think I maybe need 200 drills or something, maybe 300 drills. And you know what? I probably have them in Ireland, so I might not even worry about it. But once I completed this section, I was like, oh, no, that's not good. But yeah, I am losing my needle minder. So as I'm doing this voiceover, I'm actually cross stitching. I'm working on my Dark Queen of the Seas stitch along. So I'm doing the inky part at the top. If you're following my progress on it, while we talk today, because I really just wanted something easy and mindless to work on. Whereas my knitting project right now is actually really intense, and if I don't have complete silence, I can't do the section. So I'm going to save that for another time. My favorite part about the painting that you're seeing on the screen is actually I love all of the shades of purple and pink, and I know that one of the concerns that was raised is that her skin is very pink. Like, it doesn't look natural. But I implore you to, if you're working on this and you're getting frustrated by her skin tone, there are 2 things I'd recommend. The first thing is just to turn off the light pad and step back. Look at that painting from about 6 feet away. That's the normal viewing distance. And if you do decide to frame it and put it on the wall, you're more than likely going to be more than that, away. But think of a typical bedroom. You're about 6 feet from all the walls, maybe 4 feet in some instances. And if somebody's walking through the door of the room and they look at it on the wall, they're even further than 6 feet away. And from that distance, she's stunning. The reason why our brains kind of they don't like the pixelation, and So when you have this kind of smaller painting, this is a bit smaller than other Diamond Art Club paintings. So it is a little bit more pixelated in that way. It actually, from a normal viewing distance and not like two feet or a few inches away from the canvas, it looks really cool. And then another thing you could do if the pink is really bugging you is to do a color conversion. You could change her skin tone. There are some really great resources out there. I'm actually going to bring it up here while we're talking. It's skin conversion, and I'm looking it up on Google. The first thing that comes up is find the perfect skin tone from lordlibiden.com. So this is something that people in the cross stitch world use a lot. We have a lot of options here. So you've got skin tone, highlight, and shadow in a range of skin tones. So I'm going to go ahead and link that down below in the description box in case you're interested in doing that and checking that out, and maybe changing her skin tone. So let me make sure I put that down in my notes. But that's a really good resource. Not everybody is pink. Not everybody is olive. There are lots of people in the world, and so it's nice to have those options if you want to. But just remember, you'll have to source diamonds yourself, and I would recommend going to diamonddrillsusa.com to get some diamond drills. If you're not in the United States, they do ship worldwide, but if you're not in the United States, there are other stores that sell diamonds just by themselves. And I've recently heard that Evermoment on AliExpress, if you send them a message, they will actually sell you drills by themselves. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm thinking about it because their drills are really good quality. Excuse me for the slurp. All right, let's keep going. So that's an option. Now, another thing I want to address, like the elephant in the room here, is that there is, let me make sure, where am I? I'm at the start of this row. Oops. Okay. You can see a little bit of gapping here, and I want to address this now because I get a lot of questions about this as well. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I do get questions about Diamond Art Club drills and gapping on the canvas, and I'd like to talk about that for a minute. So you can see that there are spaces. When I lay down the drills, and even in the sections that I've completed already with the light pad on, you can see that there are some gaps. Now, this is normal. This is normal in a lot of diamond paintings. The only time that it doesn't happen is when you have drills that are popping. And the problem, or I wouldn't say the problem, the issue is that this is a poured glue canvas, and poured glue needs space to breathe because when you've placed the diamonds, the glue is going to harden, and therefore it's going to kind of like retract. The diamonds are going to get closer to each other, and so you need a little tiny space for those diamonds to come together. If you don't do that and you had them perfectly touching from the beginning, then you run the risk of actually losing diamonds. So this is why it's done this way, and I would just say, please don't worry, don't fret about it. It's not, no one is going to see it. When I did my Princess Mononoke painting from Diamond Art Club eons ago. I was concerned and I contacted their customer service, and they told me that it's normal and to expect that it shrinks. So that's something that I need to remind myself to do when I get home, is to check that painting and see how it's faring now, because I think it's been over a year since I completed that painting. If you're interested in seeing paintings that I have finished, I do have a playlist called Post Reviews on my channel, and I think I might actually just edit the name of that and make it Post Reviews Finished Diamond Paintings, so that everybody knows what that actually is, what a post review is, because I haven't done one in a really long time. It's been a hot minute since I finished a diamond painting, and I guess it's because I started a lot of projects. I joined some diamond paint alongs, and I wanted to participate in some events that were happening with different companies, and unfortunately I just never ended up finishing. So I have a lot of whips at home that I plan on finishing before I start new projects, for sure. Now, I want to say that I really love this tray. I'm just gonna pull up the information here about this tray so that I don't misspeak, because it's easy to do. Okay, let me just grab this information. The pen is from Butterfly Effect Wares, which I'm going to link for you. So that's the beautiful pen that I'm using. Making sure that I do this while we are talking, because sometimes that's the hardest part, is listening back and getting all of the links for everything. So I apologize if this is off-putting for you in some way. But was it in this one? Trying to remember. Going through all of the videos that I've done in the past few weeks. Nope. There was a video that I made with this particular... Aha, there it is. JH Envision Lab 3D printed trays. They print 3D printed trays, and then you can actually put your name on the side, and that's pretty cool. So that's that. All right. Thank you so much for being patient with me while I looked up that information. So, yeah, this week has been really good. I went on a trip to see someone really special. I saw my mom, and then when I came back to my grandma's house, my dad was there, and I keep bumping the light pad. They make little 3D printed covers for that, but normally if I were in my craft room, I wouldn't be touching the light pad, so you'll see me touch it a few times and it turns off. But the orientation in the room that I'm diamond painting in right now for you in this video is much different than in my own office, so I don't think I'll have that problem in the future. But anyway, my dad, I got to see my dad. He's moved up to live with my grandma now, and I'm relieved to have him around. It's really nice to know that she's not alone, and she's, that all of that responsibility isn't falling on me right now, because it has been a long while. But it's okay. It's all right. Let's see. Do I want to continue this? Let's see. I skip one. Excuse me. Bear with me. This is what cross stitching is like. It's a lot of counting, but I'm about to run out of thread. It's fine. I'll just rethread my needle. I have been enjoying kind of flip-flopping the crafts lately. Are you like that too? Do you like to change up what you're working on, or do you prefer to work on one type of hobby at a time? For me, I don't know why, but like my brain likes it when I go from project to project and from hobby to hobby. So like today, I will stitch, tomorrow I will knit, you know. Sometimes I get in the groove and I do the same thing all the time, but that's very rare, to be honest, these days. And I was just talking to a friend of mine about this, and like, I used to diamond paint every day, and I would spend hours doing it every day. And it was, I was talking to my patrons. We had the live stream. This is probably a bad time to talk about it because it's the end of the month, but I will warn you. I have a Patreon. It's basically this platform that allows creators to communicate to their audience in a different way than the big one, which for me is YouTube, where I'm talking to you right now. And so one of the perks of signing up to Patreon and joining me over there is that I have different tier levels. One is just a tip jar where if you want to, kind of like, well, I don't do YouTube membership on this channel because I have Patreon. So I don't do both. I just do the one, to make it less confusing for you and for me. But I have like a tip jar, and then the people who want to see what I'm about to do for the week, so I call them the organized ones. Then we have the ones who want vlogs. So if you want vlogs, you sign up for that one. And of course, with every tier, you get everything that was included in the last one. Then there's the live streamer tier and then the Zoom tier. So Zoom is the highest and it's a little more exclusive because there's only so many people that I feel comfortable talking to at once, even on a Zoom chat. And every month I do that for them. But I would recommend that if you're interested in signing up and you're looking to save money, please don't sign up until the 1st of next month, because otherwise you'll get charged twice. And I don't want you to unknowingly do that if you wanted to join us on Patreon. It is nice. It's a nice little group of people over there. We talk to each other in the comments and everything. And I'm hoping to do more with it when I get back to Ireland as well. Okay, let me just double check this. So we've got, I have to count for a minute, 9, 11 from here, 11 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me just double check. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Okay, wonderful. Just making sure that I've got the right ones. And now we can go all the way back and I don't have to count anything. Yes, so we were on Patreon and I was talking about how my kind of need to diamond paint, my urge, the insatiable desire to diamond paint faded a little bit, and I've been trying to bring it back, but I still love the hobby. I should make more time for it and make it kind of like a therapy session. You know what I mean? I think that part of the problem is that I've just been feeling a little bit lonely lately. And so, for whatever reason, diamond painting seems so solitary. And I know that that's not the way that it has to be. Like, you could always invite people in your family or your close friends that are in your bubble to come and sit with you and work with you on a project. And that's what I kind of want. I want to get the people who are in my little bubble. We call them bubbles in Ireland. I don't know about y'all, but we have 2 or 3 households that were encouraged to socialize with, so that we don't go spare and don't get depressed, basically. I don't know if that's actually working for anyone, but I'm looking to maybe introduce diamond painting into one of our meetups, so that I don't have to do it alone, and it could be a fun group activity. Especially because, okay, and hear me out. I was hoping to go to a retreat this year. There's a diamond painting retreat in Wisconsin, and I had signed up for it. Unfortunately, with everything going on and not knowing when my COVID vaccination is going to be, I just don't feel comfortable traveling, until I've had the jab, as they call it. And I just want to be safe about it and smart about it. And I don't want to put anybody else at risk. So I just feel a little bit kind of, I don't know. I feel bad about it because I do love meeting people and everything. I just, and I don't have any children or, anything like that. So I can travel and do those things. But I think the hardest part would be the dog. Like, where am I going to put the dog? But, and of course I'd bring James with me. But I guess we'll just have to wait another year and see how that goes. And hopefully I'll be able to meet some more people then. I really did enjoy meeting Laura from Anxiety Art Adventures. That was really fun, y'all. That was so fun. She's such a nice person. But yeah, and spending time with Jessie as well. Those have been highlights of my time here for sure. Let's see, what am I doing on the screen now? I'm changing colors. And that was the moment when I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna run out of diamonds. But it's okay. I don't know where I put them. Maybe I put them in her face. Maybe I messed up the face. I'm not sure. Or maybe there was another bag and I forgot to bring it with me. You know what? That's probably what happened. I'll double check. I'll double check and see when I get back. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm positive that I misplaced it though. Very easy to do. So let's see what else is new and exciting. I found a few free knitting patterns online. So I'm kind of Heike from Stone Cold Coffee Crafts and I have been talking about all these knitting patterns lately. And one skein patterns. So using up all of those, individual skeins of yarn, I think it's a good idea because we have a lot of yarn, and I like accessories for knitting. I like accessories better than like sweaters or socks, as far as I can tell. The socks are just not really grabbing me now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I brought socks with me to make, but I haven't touched them. I haven't touched them since around Christmas time. Maybe it's just that project hasn't been calling me because I think I made my sock too wide or something and it looks weird and stretched out. I don't know what I did. So I'm pretty sure I have to rip that one back. And that's never like a fun realization to make, right? Having to rip back. But I find that, no, tell me what you do, because if there's a better way, I don't know. But when I have to like rip back in a project, like for instance, it could be diamond painting or knitting or cross stitching. If I don't do it as soon as I've made the mistake, then it makes it worse. So, when they say like the frog has found me again, they call it a frog because you rip it, rip it, rip it. Get it? But if I have to frog it out, if I have to rip it back, I need to do it right then, or else I run the risk of not wanting to pick up the project again, and that is devastating. All right, let's see. Now I've got to go over this way. All right. This is going really fast now, and I'm super happy about it. So I love this project. I don't love the seaweed part. I don't know why. Maybe it's the colors on the fabric or something. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what it was, to be honest. But I have not wanted to work on the little leaves. So instead, I'm working on the little inky magic up at the top, and it's really fun. But yeah, let me see. I'm gonna pause the recording for a second. It's only going to be a second, like half a second for you. I'm going to see if there's any comments that I can answer while we are here. Alrighty, so I'm just pulling up the comments from the Wipnchat number 54 and looking to see what y'all talked about. So in that particular episode, I was talking about the house and renovating the kitchen, which I'm really excited about. And I got lots and lots of comments about your experience with buying and remodeling or renovating. And it's been really interesting. It says, like, Stephanie Hall actually left a comment saying that she bought, her and her partner or husband bought a house 4 years ago, and the market was cutthroat. They actually had to pay what the owners were asking and pay closing costs in order to be the offer that they chose. So I don't know the normal procedure for that, but it sounds like that wasn't what you wanted. Then MSDM actually said, if the owners aren't willing to give you the option to buy, then I don't think you should increase the value of their home for them. Save the money to put in the home that you purchase. Just my opinion. I totally understand that. I think that if I weren't seriously in a position where I have to stay in that house because there are no other options, and if I stay there long enough, I feel like it would pay for itself in my own, like, mental well-being, then I would 100% agree with you. And that's why we've waited so long. When I first arrived there, I felt the same way about the kitchen. But now that we've been there for 5 years, I'm kind of like, yeah, I think it's safe to say that we're going to be here for a lot longer. And it's just gotten to the stage where I don't think that I don't think it's a bad investment, especially since it's only going to be, I'm trying to guesstimate with the new, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back and see Wipnchat number 54, where I talk about what we're doing to the kitchen. But, and I'll go into depth once I get back and, give you the overview and everything. But for the paint, the flooring, the padding for the flooring, the cabinet pulls and things like that, all of that included is going to cost maybe 300, maybe 350 euros. I think that's actually a pretty good price. It's not thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? If it were like 5 or 10,000 euro, then of course I wouldn't. Don't be silly. But this is just kind of like a facelift, if you want to call it that. So, but I appreciate that you commented and gave your opinion on it, because when people are thinking about doing this themselves, they should, they should weigh all those options as well. I'm looking through here. Amanda's in the same position. Amanda Lyle says she's renting, and she has for about 5 or 6 years, and she's thinking about renovating the kitchen cabinets and thinking about what to do on the floor. Like you, the landlord is happy for me to do whatever. Good luck, Amanda. I know that it's a big decision to make if you're in the same position as me, but it's at this stage, it's just the floor is driving me bananas, and the pine. I'm gonna have to sneeze. Excuse me for just a moment. Excuse me. Yes, and Tea Time Fix is listening and working on her Heaven and Earth design. Awesome. Thank you for spending time with me, everybody. I really appreciate it. Nana was here as well. Of course, we watch and listen to you to the end of the video. You're so sweet. Thank you. She's shaming everyone who doesn't. Shame. I don't want to shame anyone. Some people are really busy. Marlene watched the SNL skit. If you haven't seen it, it's really funny. I linked it on that Wipnchat as well. And the amount of you who are saying that it's just nice to listen to my voice, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I can be a part of your day, and I hope that I make you feel a little bit better, because sometimes it's just really stressful. Melissa B. Craft with me. So she misses my Wipnchats. Thank you. I too am thinking about doing some home facelifts. I like that. Home facelifts over the next few months. I love my home, but I would like to add a little me flair. That's so cool. Yeah, I'd love to see what you do. Go crazy. Why not? After what we've been through for the past year, sure, why not? Tara says, hi, I love all your videos, watch them from beginning to end, even if I have to come back to them. This is one that I had to come back to. That's so sweet. It's been nice being able to post a little bit more than before and kind of get closer to where I want to be again. But we'll get there. All right, so that was 2 weeks ago. Let's have a look at comments from last week. And I'm going to put it on newest first. Oh, yes, this is the one. This is the one where I have to choose the winner. If you didn't know about it, you're going to have to go and watch it. It's where I knit. So if you're looking for the thumbnail, it's of me and my knitting project. Now, with that project, that's the Season of Serenity shawl. And I was just talking about how I'm on a section that's very complicated. In fact, the day that I'm working on how it's broken up into 24 days, because it's an Advent shawl, and each section is a little bit different. And unfortunately, if you watch FlossTube, then you know about this already. But I had to contact the designer and tell her that there was an error in the pattern in the written instructions. So she sent me the new instructions, but there was also an error in that written instruction. So I have to contact her again. Crazy stuff. But I figured it out, which is great. Kessia Rideout was commenting on the fact that Wipnchat 55 was all about self-care. And she says, I try to remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. Keep your cup full. That is so true. And I think that was what I was trying to say, is that, like, if you aren't taking care of yourself, then you can't take care of other people. And it's important that you stay on top of that for yourself as well as for other people. Because whether we like to think of it or not, people depend on us, and they need us to be at our best. And I think they deserve it too. It's just very important. Very important. And DaCosta, thank you so much for always coming back. She says that she misses her craft supplies when she's gone from home too. It's weird. It's like, I hate to say that it's an addiction, but it's such a comfort. It's something that I crave when I'm away. If I don't have something to bring with me, I feel strange. So it used to be books. Before I got into crafting, I was an avid reader. I used to read all the time, and I would always bring at least 2 books with me on a vacation for 2 weeks. Always. And I would try to choose books that I could trade or leave behind, that I wasn't afraid of swapping or something like that, because when I would go to the new place, I would get a new book. And that was the idea. And I read and read and read. If you don't know this about me, I'm an English major. I went to school and studied at university for English literature. So I had to read a lot and analyze themes and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy reading. But I think it was in 2015 or 2016, somewhere around there, where I actually burned myself out. No, sorry. It was 2016 or 2017. I purchased all of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, and at the same exact time, I bought all of Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. And I have since stopped both. There is a point in both of those series where there's too much happening. Now, I do want to go back to the Wheel of Time, but I've heard that once you get, I think I'm on book 7 of 14. Once you get to about book 8 or 9, that's when things kind of change. But so far, every single book thematically has been exactly the same setup and exactly the same ending. And it's very boring after a while to have the same exact story happening. It's very methodical. It's kind of like, okay, I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like an episode of NCIS or House. It's comforting because it's the same process, right? It's the same formula. But as a reader, I found it very boring. That's why I really love Game of Thrones, because each book is very, very different, and there isn't a formula. And George R. R. Martin was taking these tropes, these very common themes, and flipping them so that people thought that they saw something coming, but that's not what happened. It's very fun to read. And Anne Rice is a whole hot mess. And I mean that in the nicest way possible that I can say that about someone that I've never met. Once she got to the book called Queen of the Damned, she became, no, sorry, it's, or is it Queen of the Damned? I think it was, but I could be wrong. It could be the one after that, is when she became her own editor, which meant that she didn't edit. And it's very long-winded writing, There's a lot of dialogue that doesn't need to be there. It doesn't progress the plot at all. It's not interesting. And I think it was, I'll just have a look. Vampire Chronicles. You don't mind me looking this stuff up, right? Let's see. Tale of the Body Thief was the last one that I read, and that one was so long. Like, it really just didn't need to be that long. And I think she took 4 years to write that book. I mean, it took her 9 years to write The Vampire Lestat, but The Vampire Lestat was a fantastic book to follow up Interview with the Vampire. But Tale of the Body Thief was kind of like her own ideas just kind of blurted out on the page, and there was nobody there to clean it up and help her. And I don't know if anybody wanted to get on her bad side. There's a lot of things about this, but anyway, I don't want to like start ranting about Anne Rice. But anyway, I've stopped and I'm not going to continue. I don't know. I'm going to probably give the whole collection of books to the thrift store, because I just have no desire to finish that series anymore. But I thought that I would, but it's actually just so incredibly difficult to read now. Anyway, and that reminds me that I wanted to talk to you about The Expanse. There's a show called The Expanse. It is on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's showing on, let's see if it's showing anywhere else. Prime Video. No, it's only on Amazon Prime. It's an incredible series. I love it. It's sci-fi drama. Gets very high ratings. And I truthfully think that it could keep going. There are 5 seasons so far, and the 6th season is coming out soon. Let me see if it tells us. Season 6. Release date. There is no set date, but they're saying December of this year, possibly. It started out on Sci-Fi, but it has since moved to Prime. It's an incredible show. And if you like sci-fi, if you like shows like Battlestar Galactica, Serenity, Firefly, any of them. I'm thinking of more, but a lot of the dramas that I've watched about sci-fi stuff is all more like anime. Like, it's very Outlaw Star. But beyond that, it's an incredible story, and it has twisted in ways that I didn't see coming. There's a lot of political intrigue as well as characterization that it's just awesome. And some characters who you love at the beginning, you start to not like at the end. Well, I say end, in the middle. There's still hope for them, I'm sure. But just an incredible series. Definitely worth a watch, especially right now, because there are 5 seasons of it. And so you have plenty of time to watch it. I will warn you that there is a lot of blood, but it's all CG. It's not real. So as long as you can convince yourself that it's okay and it's not real, then I think you can get through it. But there are some very heavy themes in there as well. Nothing that I don't think teenagers could, if you want to watch it with teens, go ahead. If you are a teen, as long as you're over 16, I think it's fine. You can handle it. You know what I mean? But I think that young people are much better at understanding that TV is not real. Whereas I think that a lot of us did not have that. You know, it was very PG when we were kids and growing up. Speaking of, well, I don't know if I want to get on that tangent either, but the news about Britney Spears and all of that. You know, I grew up with her being, she's only what, 5 years older than me. And I just can't understand why back then the paparazzi were so targeted on young people and for fame. And I think this is a good opportunity for us to reevaluate how we treat celebrities, because they need their personal space too, right? I've never been a celebrity person. Like, I don't really stan anyone. That's the word. It's the crossover between stalker and stan. And I think that should stop. It's not healthy. It's not healthy expectations for people in general to compare themselves with a celebrity, because, you know, they don't have normal lives. And that's because of money, money, power, and fame, right? It's just important to keep that in mind, that there are things that you see on TV, things that you hear about on entertainment news, and then there's real life, right? So anyway, I didn't want to go on that tangent. I have not seen the documentary yet, but I know that it's out there, and maybe at some point I will watch it. But again, like, I feel really bad for her. And when she had her breakdown, like, I felt bad that they were still stalking her and making her seem like that it was entertainment, instead of being like, oh, we need to give her privacy and make sure she gets the help she needs. But yeah, crazy. No, I shouldn't say that. The situation is unfortunate. That's what I mean when I said that. We have to reevaluate the way that we say things like that, especially when we're talking about someone who has suffered from mental illness. I'm looking here at Bonnie's comments about the self-care Wipnchat. And she says, before COVID, I started going for a massage about once a month. A neighbor told me about a school where the massages are done by grad students. Because we're seniors, an hour is $12. Let me tell you, I haven't had a massage in many, many years. These have been the best massages I've ever had. I'm hoping they open up again, closed as far as I know. I've always wanted a facial like you. Pampering yourself is very important. Yes, it is very important, and that is a great price. An hour is very expensive for someone my age, but it is so worth it. But that's a good option. I think that if you are a senior, maybe look into that. I hadn't even considered that could be an option. And if your area is open, that might be a good way to go. So, I'm just seeing that I have very little time left, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for your comments. I do enjoy reading them, and if you are, Bonnie also left me a comment asking if she could send me a card here in the U.S., but unfortunately I'm not accepting any mail here unless it was from a company, but I can't really do that anymore because I'm just about to leave. So if you were thinking of sending me a card, could you please send it to the address that's here in the description box in Ireland, my P.O. box. I will be getting there very soon, and I'm looking forward to it, but please don't feel pressure to send me anything. I have enough. I'm looking forward to opening all of those packages for you and showing you all the goodies that I've gotten. I have no idea how I'm gonna know what is what, so it'll be a fun experience for the both of us. But like I said, I'm happy to bring you more interesting things very soon, and to continue working on the projects that you enjoy as well as I enjoy, and also getting involved in a few more community things. I like to join them. They're very fun to join. I know that there are a lot, and if you are participating in a stitch along or in a diamond paint along, I'd love to know which ones you're joining. I know that there's probably another Chuck along. I know that Mistria and Mindy and who else? Kiss My Crafts and all of these YouTubers. There are more. Cal's Crafts. Who else? The Crafty Heifer. All sorts of people are doing some kind of craft event with their fans and followers and subscribers, and I love to join all the things too. It's so fun. I think that I will be joining Cal with her mermaid along because it encompasses all the crafts, and I have lots of mermaid-esque things that I want to do and to use as an excuse to join in and join her Facebook group and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to try to kind of keep it together, send off these boxes of all the stuff that I've acquired over here. I didn't think that I would, but here we are. and just try to enjoy the last few weeks that I have with my close friends and family. Looking forward to this Friday going and having a little dinner over at Jesse's house, Miss Laid Pages. Looking forward to that, and kind of having a send off, if you will. I have that buffalo chicken dip. Oh, y'all. It's weird the things that we crave when we're not able to be home all the time, right? So anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Stay safe, take your meds, hydrate, it's important, and really take care of yourselves. And spring is here. Spring is here. So enjoy the outdoors. Get out there. Get out of the house. Go for a walk. Or just go stand in the sunshine if you can. I'm thinking of you. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all soon in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.